but they are full of protein, as I guess we know. But almost nobody grows soybeans because if you go and buy soybeans in a market, they don't taste very good. But if you grow your own soybeans, they are absolutely delicious. I've had 7,000 people from every state in Canada to come and look at the garden. I keep a book where they write their names, you see. I tell you right now, my husband has been dead for 15 years, and living alone like this, I don't know what on earth I would do if I didn't have this garden thing to write about, to help people with, to talk to garden clubs. I don't know how I could feel that I was doing anything that made it necessary for me to stay alive. I don't lecture a garden club. I talk maybe for 5 minutes, and then it's open to questions. It's not a talk, it's a conversation. I don't think I could have gone through it year after year, getting up, yap, 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 trying to say the same old thing over and over. When they ask me what I charge, I say, whatever you give your most highly paid speaker. That sounds conceited, but it is because I've found out that they give the highest amount to people who tell you how to put flowers in a vase, and I've got something more important to tell you than that.
That's an art in Japan.
What, dear?
Flower arranging is an art in Japan.
In Japan. Well, it would never, never occur to me to tell any other grown human being how to put some flowers in a vase. This is so good. I bet you're an awfully good cook, are you? This is so good. These are awfully good. This is delicious. Well, when I'm invited out to lunch, I never eat a bite of breakfast. When I'm invited out to dinner, I never eat a bite of lunch. I like to be nice and hungry.
Would like more wine.
Not too much. Thank you. That's fine.
I think we're all going to get a little high on this wine.
I'm a little high already. Did I tell you that I was 45 years old when I found out that people actually behaved the way somebody else told them to, like Emily Post? When Fred told me that Emily Post had written a whole book about it, well, I couldn't wait to read. I got hold of that book right away, and here I read this book. Do this, do this, do this, do this, don't do this. And I couldn't believe it. Behaving properly, for heaven's sake. This woman down the road, a very rich woman, invited me to a formal dinner party. You know, RSVP and wear so-and-so. What do they call it? Black tie or something like that. I wrote her back. I liked her, but I said, I'm sorry I can't come to your party because if I did, I would embarrass you. I wouldn't know how to behave. I wouldn't know what to wear. I would do all the wrong things, and you would be upset, and I thought that would finish me with her. And the next day, somebody knocked on the door, and here was one of her servants with a great big bunch of beautiful flowers for me, so at least it didn't make her mad. She's nice. I've been there a few times since, but not to a formal party, for heaven's sake. Huh? I couldn't go to a formal party. I loved my husband very, very much. I really mean it when I say that I'm sure that he is the only man in the world who could have stood staying married to me, because I always was out of order. I mean, the things I did, I would go down there to garden, and the minute I got down there, I would take off all my clothes and garden naked. I've always loved the air on my body. And I never said a word to Fred about it one way or the other. It never occurred to me to mention it to him. And I came back every evening around 5 o'clock and put my clothes on before I came back. And one day I came back at 6. And Fred was out in the barn doing his stuff. He made all these wooden things and so on. And shortly after I got in, he came in and he said, "Oh, you worked longer today, didn't you?" I said, "But how did you know?" I was just curious how he happened to know. And he said, it was easy. As a rule, as the cars go along the road, after 5 o'clock, they just go on, but up until 5 o'clock, they kind of go very slowly and then look down where you're gardening. so, so I knew that you didn't come up until 6, because up until 6, they still stopped. I just am by nature an optimist. The pleasant idea comes instead of the depressing one. I couldn't admire anybody any more than I admired my grandfather. He always knew exactly the right thing to do and to say with everybody. I don't mean correct thing, of course. I mean the helpful thing. My oldest brother had a dog that he was crazy about, and the dog died. My 2 oldest brothers were out where I could see them from the window burying the dog, and the tears were rolling down my cheeks because I was sorry for my brother. And my grandfather came in the room, and he saw what was going on, and he said, "Oh, come here, Ruth, I want to show you something." He took me over to the other side of the room, and he said, "Here's the rose bush that you planted yourself, and look, it has a flower on it. You can go out and pick a flower off of your own rose bush." I started out, and he put his arm around me, and he said, "Thee was looking out of the wrong window, dear."